Hi everyone, welcome to Grace Church. My name is Leah and I am so excited to be here with you today. We are starting a new series called Burst My Bubble. It's all about a guy named Joseph from the Bible who loved God, and he would have things going along in his life and then things would just come crashing down around him. So Joseph and bubbles, you might wonder what those have in common. So let's think about it. Have you ever played with bubble wrap? You know, this comes like in a package when you get something shipped to your house. What's your favorite thing to do with it? Is it to pop the bubbles? It is mine. So fun. Or maybe you play with bubbles before, right? Play with this outside. So much fun. Well, so when we say burst my bubble, it's actually more of a word picture. It's an idiom, a phrase that doesn't really mean what it sounds like. Joseph didn't have bubbles. Joseph didn't have bubble wrap. Those didn't exist in the Bible. But what this phrase means is that things are going great. You have a great idea, happy, you're excited, and then something comes along and bursts your bubble, ruins your illusion, and things go south. And that's what happened to Joseph. So this story comes from Genesis 37, and you probably need to know a little bit about Joseph to begin with. Our last series was about Abraham, and God promised Abraham that he would have tons of people in his family, and he gave him one son. So Abraham had one son named Isaac. Well, Isaac grew up, and he had two sons, Jacob and Esau. And Jacob is Joseph's father. So Joseph is one of 12 sons. So Abraham had one, Isaac had two, and Jacob had 12 sons. So this is part of God's promise to make this huge family. Well, Joseph wasn't just one of 12. Joseph was the favorite. He was the favorite son of his father. In Genesis 37, it tells us that he was born to Jacob in his old age, and so he loved Joseph. Well, he gave Joseph a fancy robe that no one else got to show them that he was the favorite. How do you think that made the other 11 brothers feel? Not so good. They hated him, actually, it tells us. And Joseph didn't make things any better, because one day he had a dream, and he told his brothers about this dream. He said, "I dreamt last night that we were out in a field, and we were gathering bundles of grain. My bundle stood up, and yours bowed down to me." Joseph, come on, man. What do you think they're going to think about that? They already hated him, and now they hate him even more. And it didn't stop there. Joseph had another dream, and this time he told his dad too. He said, "I dreamed the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed down before me." Well, guess what? The brothers hated him even more. But the Bible tells us his father said, "What kind of dream is that? Will your mother and I and your brothers bow down before you?" His brothers hated him, but his dad actually wondered what this could mean. Well, some time went by, the brothers still hated Joseph, the dad still loved him, and the brothers were all older, so they were out working in the field, taking care of the sheep, and Jacob sent Joseph to go and see what was going on, to check in on them. The brothers saw Joseph coming, and they started to think, you know, I really hate that Joseph. Let's kill him. Kids, this is not okay. It was not a good idea. But that's what they thought. And so they made a plan. But Reuben, the oldest brother, he said, "Guys, let's not kill him, because then we have to, deal with the shame of that. So instead, let's throw him in this pit." Guys, it's still not a good idea to throw your siblings in a pit. But let's throw him in a pit and we'll just leave him there and we'll be rid of him. And they thought, sure, that sounds like a great idea. So they took Joseph, they took off his robe, because it's fancy and they're going to keep it, and they threw him in a pit. Well, after a while, they looked up, because they kept taking care of the sheep, and then they saw Ishmaelite traders. This was another group of people from nearby, and they were coming across with their camels, and they were traveling on. And so they said, Judah had a good idea. Let's not just leave him in that pit. Let's sell him. Kids, again, this is not a good thing to do. Do not try to sell your brother. But they thought, sure, that sounds great. We'll get rid of him. We'll sell him to these traders. So when the Ishmaelites came by, Joseph's brothers picked him up, pulled him out of the pit, and they sold him for 20 pieces of silver. And they took Joseph from Israel, where they were, all the way to Egypt, far away, and they sold him to be a slave to Potiphar. And we'll get to that story next week. But meanwhile, they knew they had to tell their dad something. So they took Joseph's coat and they tore it up and they dipped it in goat's blood and they sent it with a messenger to their dad. And they said, "Oh, Dad, isn't this your son Joseph's coat?" Now they're lying, because of course they know it's Joseph's coat. These brothers, I tell you, not a good day. But their dad was like, "Yes, it is my son's coat." And he was so sad that he tore his own clothes and he put on burlap, because that's what they did when they had to show how sad they were back in Bible times. And guys, he was so sad. So this is a sad end to the story, right? Good news, we'll get to more next week. But Joseph's bubble was totally burst in this story. He was going along, favorite son, and then bam, he's sold and far away from home. Well, he also had those dreams that were really exciting, right? And then pop, those dreams got him in trouble with his brothers and ended up getting rid of him. All of these things were probably really surprising to Joseph. He didn't know. He probably would have been smarter if he had known that his brothers were going to hate him that much. But you know who wasn't surprised? God. God knew everything that was going to happen. God knew that Joseph was going to be the favorite. He knew that the brothers were going to be angry. He knew where Joseph was going to go and what they were going to do and what he was going to do. God knew all of it. And that is our big idea today. Say this with me. God is all-knowing. God knew everything. God knows everything. He knew the good parts and the bad, and he knows the good and bad in your life too. So there will be things that happen in our life that are really good, and God will be there with us. He already knows about them, and he's excited for us to experience those. And God knows the days that we're going to be like the brothers and make bad choices and do bad things that are not part of what he would like us to do. And God already knows, and he wants to forgive us for those. He wants to give us another chance. And God also knows the bad days when things happen to us that are awful. And he wants to be with us and take care of us through those. He knows all of it. And while Joseph doesn't know what's coming next when he gets to Egypt, and we'll find out next week, God already knew. And it was good. So our Bible verse says this too. Let's look. It's a promise from God. In Psalm 33, 13 through 15 says, "The Lord looks down from heaven and sees the whole human race. From his throne he observes all who live on the earth. He made their hearts, so he understands everything they do." God made us. He's king of the whole earth. He knows everything. He loves us, and he will be there in the highs and the lows, just like he was there with Joseph and knew everything that was happening in his life. So I hope that helps you when you're having a high day or a low day to remember that God knows it and he's with you and he loves you. Let's pray before we go on for the rest of our day. God, thank you that you know everything about us and that nothing in our lives is a surprise to you. I am so grateful that you love us that much. Please help us remember that we can trust you all the time because you know everything. Amen. Well, thanks for tuning in this week and being here with me. I'll see you next time.